All right, so a major project in Newport County that's been sort of in theory and in practice over really the last several years is a skate park in Newport. And Michael Richards is the president of Friends of Newport Skate Park and joins us this morning here on the Newport This Week podcast. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Take us through the progress here, the travel of this from concept to reality, including what has been really an impressive fundraising effort where you've raised $750,000.
Uh, g- Before we even get into the process, can we just talk about skate parks in general, like the fun stuff?
Sure, that's
Yeah.
that's totally fine. I think a lot of people, skating has obviously shifted from, in the public consciousness. It's clearly more of a sport in people's minds than it was 20, 30 years ago, even though it's always been a sport.
Yes, I mean, skateboarding is definitely popular. And if you travel to any of the parks across the nation, they're probably the most used public facility in cities and towns. When we go over to Wakefield, when we go up to Tiverton, there are always kids at the skate park. Everybody shows up for about an hour or two, and there's just a constant recycling of new kids of all ages showing up. And like the cool thing about the skate park is it's not being built just for the skateboarders. Everybody on this island always says there's nothing to do for the kids. And we saw an opportunity here that we could help fix that issue on this island, that the city was ready to build a skate park. They just needed that nudge to get it done. They needed that private sector to come in and say, yeah, you're right, we really want to make this happen. So we'll make it happen ourselves by way of Friends of Newport Skate Park. Because I don't even see myself as a skateboarder as my role as a president of Friends of Newport Skate Park. I see myself more as a dad on this island with three kids, and there's a lot of other parents on the board of directors. A lot of our members are parents, and there's not enough to do on this island for kids. And this skate park isn't just for the people who have been skateboarding 1 year, 1 month, 10 years, 20 years. This skate park is for kids that have never touched a skateboard before, but now they're going to have a safe place to learn how to skateboard, to learn a new sport. And some of those kids are going to be those kids that didn't find that sport yet, didn't find that niche, don't really know where they belong. They're not that football kid. They're not that basketball kid. They don't have parents driving them to and from practice every afternoon. This is going to be in the backyard of so many kids that live in Newport and really the whole island. So that's what I'm most excited about, that this park is really for the kids and the parents and the families in Newport and really all across this island.
And that's a major piece. As you said, it's something that serves as a community generator. And those generative spaces are something that great cities have across a multitude of activities or engagements. Sometimes it's in the arts, sometimes it's just in the community hangout, sometimes it's around a sport. And I think more than anything, that's what this is. It's a generative space to build community, and skating serves as the means to an end here. But
Mhm.
like you had said, you take it out a couple of steps beyond just skating. It's like this is essential for building the type of city, the type of community that we need.
Yeah, that skate park is going to be its own microcosm. A culture is going to get built from the ground up right there. From the older mom and dads that are still hanging out skating to the young kids showing up for the very first time. We saw at the Broadway Street Fair. Skateboarding brings in a big, diverse mix of people, and it's a great spectator sport too. We saw that crowd on Washington Square. Um, it was awesome. It was like everybody wanted to watch. Everybody was interested. There was kids out there getting on skateboards for the very first time. Taking that controlled risk, putting themselves out there a little bit for the opportunity to find a new love, and get them outside more, get them active. It's such a great sport, and I'm so happy to see that so many kids on this island are going to be exposed to it just less than a year from now.
Yeah.
Because the private effort that's gone down just in this year alone has been unbelievable. And And I'd be amiss if I didn't really start at the beginning. This goes back to 2017 with Tim Boucher and his partner, Shane Cousins. His senior project was really putting this whole idea in front of the city and saying the skate park we have is way, way below industry standard. It's some Evel Knievel park. It wasn't welcoming to beginners. It wasn't near any of kids. It was exposed to the elements. It was a crappy park from day one, and it only got worse. So he really got the attention of the community and said, like, this needs to be fixed. These parks are valuable. And then the city, you know, took real concrete steps. Well, almost opposite of concrete steps. They demolished one park. Wonderful. Like, that got that catalyst moving. No one was using it anyway. And then they also put relocating the skate park as a primary objective in their master open space plan. So, like, with those pieces in place, like, that's when Friends of Newport Skate Park was able to get organized and be that centralized voice to the city, and to make sure things like kept going forward, not waiting for public funds. You know, Friends of Newport Skate Park has always represented, we're going to pay for this ourselves. We're going to raise the funds privately as soon as the city tells us where it's going to be built. Well, October 2022, we got over that hurdle. City of Newport decided we're going to build a basketball court. Right next to that basketball court, we'll put the skate park. It's a 5-acre lot right next to CCRI on John Chafee Boulevard. It's all connected with the bike paths now, so it's accessible to so many people.
Yeah.
And the last year, you know, we had this goal. So the goal was we're going to raise as much money as we possibly can. We've already raised over $750,000 since the beginning of this push. So it's happening. That's what's super exciting. Like, next summer, our city is getting a skate park. But now we're coming down to ending the fundraising phase and starting to shift to the planning phase. And everybody can understand, when we're sitting down with the planners, we need to know how much money we're working with. So our fundraising efforts kind of come to a close at the end of December. We'll keep selling bricks. We'll take online donations. There'll probably even be more additional events. But when the board of directors sits down in early January and we sit down with our contractor, Spawn Skate Parks, we need to know, how great of a park can we build for the city of Newport? So these next 2-3 weeks are critical to our fundraising efforts. And I've learned a lot about skate parks through this. I've learned a lot about raising money through this. And I've learned the number one reason people give is because people ask. So all of our members and all of our directors, we've been out there making the asks. And over these next 3 weeks, we're going to continue to make those asks, and really hope everybody chips in, buys a brick. We do these commemorative bricks. We're going to have a brick walk, similar to what you see at Gaudet or the Hibernian Club. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it makes it becomes a legacy piece as well, in that sense, for someone who wants to make a contribution. Sometimes that's a little bit like, you know, you look at it and you go, all right, well, this is just in all of those types of scenarios where there's bricks with names on them or organizations, you're like, all right, this is some sort of advertising or whatever. But when it's actually built into a community activator, like a skate park or something of that sort, this is you putting your stamp on a piece of Newport infrastructure and legacy going deep into the future.
Yeah, it's exciting. The community support has been wonderful. There's been so many small businesses, individuals that activated on their own, that see this project as a worthwhile project. And when we're all there opening day, I think people want to feel that I helped do this, that there were the people in place that led this charge, and I got behind them. I had the faith in the work that they were doing. I believed in the project that Friends of Newport Skate Park was pushing forward, and that they wanted to invest in the kids on this island too. I go back to it. I hear it all the time as a parent, And, you know, on all the social forums, there's nothing to do on the island for kids. Well, this park moves that needle in the direction of, no, we do have resources for our kids here. We just got a new basketball court. We're getting this skate park built. I'll make a plug for the mini golf course. It's getting more fun to be. It's getting more fun to be a kid here. And Friends of Newport Skate Park is really excited to be part of the solution of, you know, of having an island where it's worthwhile raising your family here.
Michael Richards, the president of that organization, doing great work for the community and really for generations to come. Thanks so much for your time this morning here on the Newport This Week video podcast.
Great. Thanks so much, Phil.